just proof that I actually do clean up after myself. All right. Give me just a second. One last thing to check why my Bluetooth is not connected to my other phone, and why my earbud is not connected. All right. There we go. We're ready to begin. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through in our stretches a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. Right? So we do this every single day, and we do this every day to help both you and me be a little bit more consistent with the fitness. If that feels like something that might help you, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and again, we do hip mobility and side splits every day. All right. You don't have to be here every day, but you know, I'm here every day. All right. We're gonna get into our first warm up exercise right now. We're gonna do some hip cars. Hip cars look a little bit like this. We're gonna start by lifting our knee up as high as we can directly in front. Lift, 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 lift some more. Keep lifting, lift. And then from here, we're gonna open up that leg. We're gonna point it that way. Whee! Ugh. Flex your glutes. Pull that leg back and see if you can lift that knee a little bit higher while you're there. From here, we're gonna rotate the leg so that the ankle comes up, the knee comes more or less, as high as you can, and then we're gonna keep rotating. We're gonna bring the knee down. Oh, we're gonna lift that ankle up. You're gonna feel crazy contraction in your hamstrings. Then I want you to bring the leg down and back. When you bring it down and back behind you, I want you to flex the hamstrings. I want you to flex the glutes. I want you to feel the stretch right here in the front, and that is one rep. We're gonna do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side, and we're gonna begin right now. Let's go. High knee, open. Ankle up some more, down and back, that's one high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's two high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's three high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's four high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's five. Hey, Therese, welcome back, high knee. Open, I'm off balance, ankle up, down and back, that's six. My hamstring is cramping, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's seven. Did I say seven already? Maybe that's eight, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, possibly eight, possibly nine, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, possibly nine, possibly 10. If you've done 10, feel free to stop, but in case I counted wrong, one more, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back, that's 10. Oh, my hamstrings are letting me know they don't like this today. We got lots of hamstring stretches coming, so this is possibly not a good start. All right, let's continue. Other leg. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's one high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. Try to keep your hips, your upper body really stable. Get all the movement to come from the legs where they attach into your hips. Contract the hamstrings, contract the glutes, contract the front of the thighs, contract the outside of the hip right here. Do all those other things. Try to not move the rest of your body as much as you can. Right? If it's moving around a little bit, it's not the end of the world. But that's you adjusting to make it a little easier for yourself. And we want to build strength in our weakest positions so that we get stronger and more mobile at the same time. All right? There's a con to me talking so much, and that main con is I forgot to count. I'm gonna pretend that's seven. All right, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's eight, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's nine. Last one, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Ho ho ho! Both hamstrings are not happy with me today. I don't know what I did. That's crazy. All right, that's our first partial warm up exercise thing. We went forward. Now we got to go in reverse. When we go in reverse, we're going to try and stand up nice and straight and tall. We're going to bring this leg down and back behind us. We're going to flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel a stretch right here in the front. From here, we're going to lift that leg up to the side, and it's going to look a little bit like, I'm going to kick somebody in the face, except maybe they're a little short because maybe you probably can't lift your leg that high. But regardless, that's not the point. We're lifting the leg up to the side like this. All right. Then we're going to rotate the knee down and bring the ankle up. Then we're going to bring the knee up, the ankle down. We're going to bring that knee to the front. That is one rep. We're going to do 10 of those on the left, 10 of those on the right. If you feel like, Ken, you're going way too fast, I can't keep up, I'm going to tell you right now, the longer you take to do them, the more exhausting it will be. So it is kind of in your best interest, kind of, Just go a little faster when you can, all right? Unless you really want to suffer and build a bunch of strength, you can go slow too. That's absolutely fine. All right, let's continue. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle down, or sorry, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's four. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. I think it's five. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's six. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's seven. One of these days, I gotta watch back one of these videos and see if I actually know how to count. That's eight. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 10. Oh, whew, that is 75% of our hip curls. We got one last leg to do. Remember, we're all just trying our best, but aspire to trying to keep your hips in more or less the same spot, having all the movement happen without having your hips, swing all over the place. All right, we're not belly dancing. We're trying our best to get as much range of motion as possible. And if your hips are also moving, it's hard to tell how much range of motion you're actually working on. All right, so try your best to keep your hips nice and locked in. Ready? Let's go. Bring that leg down back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, lift behind you. Lift to the side. Feel that contraction right here in the side. Rotate the knee down, ankle up, ankle down, knee up, and knee forward. That's one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's three. Keep going. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's four. And if you're struggling to stay stable, that is absolutely okay. All right. It's not an easy movement. And for a lot of us, your first couple of reps are going to be really hard because you haven't warmed up yet. Right. Hopefully, as you approach the last couple, your muscles have warmed up and you're able to flex and tense all the things necessary to help stabilize you a little bit more. Oh, that's seven. I think we got three more. Let's go. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 10. Oh, whew. That is our first warm-up exercise. Those are our hip cards. Saw a bunch of comments come in, so I'm going to take a quick peek and see how things are going. Keisha is, thank God it's Friday, y'all. And Queen Aurora says, for sure, ready for the weekend. Whew, good vibes, good vibes. Travel Doxy says, feel free to hold on to a chair or wall if needed to help with balance. Absolutely. If you just saw me just do a whole bunch of crazy balancing things, you absolutely do not have to do it the way that I do it. All right, I've been doing this show for like hundreds and hundreds of days. If you need to hold on to a wall, if you need to hold on to a chair, if you want to, I'm not doing it this way because then you can't really see what my body is doing as well. But I used to use the wall all the time during the show, and I saw a video of somebody trying to like replicate what I'm doing, but they're doing it this way, and I think they couldn't see how I was doing it, so I decided I would just face forward from now on, and I'd suffer the loss of the balance support on the walls. But you don't have to make that sacrifice. I'm making that sacrifice, all right? So please hold on to something for balance because it'll really help. All right. I am super out of breath. I don't know what's going on. We're going to move on into our second warm-up exercise, right? It's called the elephant walk. What we're going to do looks a little bit like this. We're going to fold at the hips and bring the belly button down towards the ground. As soon as you get stuck, wherever you get stuck, maybe it's here, wherever you get stuck, just chill and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into the floor a little bit. Breathe. And we're going to add a little bit of movement now. All right. I want you to bend one knee to bring that knee forward and straighten out the other leg, and then keep on folding that belly button down. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings and adjust the width of your legs. Find a nice, comfortable, stable spot for you. And we're going to switch back and forth. One leg is bent, one leg is straight, one leg is bent, one leg is straight, one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and keep on trying to fold forward. Feel that hamstring stretch in the back of your legs. And while you do a whole bunch of these, I'm going to tell you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make this suffering that we keep on putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So, if you like the idea of getting a little bit more exercise consistently, getting a little bit more flexible, getting a little bit more mobile, especially in your hips, and maybe even working towards some advanced hip mobility, like some side splits, then make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. We do this live every single day, Monday through Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started about 10 minutes ago. All right. That is, 99.9% true. I mean, maybe not zero point 0.9, at least 99% true. Because I don't think I miss more than a day or two every couple months. So yes, just expect that I'll be here. All right. Anyways, now that you got a whole bunch of rambling on top of the regular spiel, let's fold a little deeper. Fold that belly button down to the ground. Fold some more. Feel that hamstring stretch building in that straight leg. And we're gonna do 5 more. Ready? Let's go. 5, 4. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, pop into a squat. Come on back into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. Shake out your legs. Give it a little flap, a little shake, a little wiggle. Let your muscles relax a little bit. And we're going to move on into warm-up exercise number 3. All right? What I want you to do, it's called thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is basically this chunk of your spine below your neck, approximately around your belly button-ish. And it has a lot of mobility. All right. Most of us, we're not doing very much to actually use the forward bending, backward bending, rotation, side to side stuff. So we're going to do a little bit of that right now. What I want you to do is get back into the position we were just in. So one leg is bent, one leg is straight. We're folding our belly button down towards the ground. All right. From here, we're going to take the arm on the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off that shin bone. All right. We're not pushing off the knee. We're not pushing off the ankle. We're pushing off the shin bone. And we're using it to help us rotate our spine. Next, I want you to extend your other arm up as straight up into the air as you can. If you're a little at an angle, you're like further over here, that's fine. Just try your best to work your way towards that straight up angle. Rotate your neck, look at the hand as best as you can, and inhale. Exhale and reach. Reach over your shoulder a little bit further, and that is half a rep. Let's do the other side. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side, reaching over to the straight leg. We're pushing off that shin bone to help rotate. Reach your hand up. Rotate your neck. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. Woo, that is 1. We're doing 5 of these in total. Take your time. Exhale. Let the air out of your chest when you try to reach. That'll take some pressure out of your lungs so that your torso can actually squeeze and wiggle and stuff, all right? So don't hold your breath. Let's continue. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2 again. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 3. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. 4 and 5. Let's do it. Inhale. Exhale, reach. If your knees or hips or something are a little bit achy, feel free to adjust the position of your legs. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 4. All right, we're going to cover it from the top. So everybody who jumped in between 2 and 4 know what we're doing. We're doing some thoracic rotation. What we want you to do is fold forward, bend one knee, straighten out the other leg. Take the arm from the bent leg side, reach across to that straight leg. We're going to push off that straight leg to help rotate and open up our chest. Or sticking the other arm up into the air, rotating the neck to look at that arm, look at that hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. That's 5 and 5. Woo! Those are some thoracic rotations. Very slowly do some body roll looking things. enjoy that extra looseness in your spine. You don't have to go shaking it super hard. You don't have to like start twerking real fast, but just enjoy some of the mobility you got now. All right. Oh, hopefully you're able to rotate and you're like, oh, I can reach a little tiny bit further at some point in our 5 reps. And now you know a little bit of warm up goes a long way. All right. We're going to move on into our fourth and final warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to drop down into a squat on one leg. We're going to come as low as we can go. We're going to extend one leg straight out to the side like so. For most of us, your version is going to look a little less intense. You might end up somewhere like here. All right. Wherever you are, just remember this leg, we're squatting. This leg is nice and straight, and you're just trying to stay balanced, stay in control. Try to keep your foot down so that it can offer you the most stability. If you end up in a position where your heel is really high up and your toes are down, it's going to make a whole bunch of pressure for your ankles, and you might start getting real wobbly and shaky and tired. So just keep the heel down and slowly work on building the ankle mobility to come on down. All right. Now that you know that, what else do we need to know? Once you're here, our next job is to move our butt that way to get to the same spot on the other side. My ankle just cracked real loud. I don't know if you heard that. But to get here, if you're a little bit higher up, it might not be so difficult. When you are really low to the ground or somewhere in between, it might be a little bit more troublesome. You'll be like, how do I get over there? You can put your hands down to give yourself a little bit of support, like a little crab shimmying across the floor. And when you get to the other side, I want you to inhale. Exhale. I try to sink a little deeper into that stretched out squatting position on this side, and then slowly come on back and do the same on this side. Inhale, exhale, and see if you can sink just a little bit deeper. All right, that's one rep. Yours does not have to look perfectly like mine, right? Once you've gotten over to the other side, try to find a way to sink down a little bit into it, and then come on back across. If you're somewhere in the middle and you're like, I can't reach the floor, but if I stand up as high as I can comfortably stay in, it's not challenging enough. If you're somewhere in the middle, feel free to get a little bit of hand support in the middle to help you over from side to side. All right? I don't know how many of these you've done, but I feel like that counts as two. We're going to treat that as two. Come on back, and come on back again, and then come on back again. That's three. We've done three. If you want to try a slightly harder variation, you can try it without your hands. All right. If you want to go even harder, you can try and sit up a little bit straighter instead of leaning so far forward. You can flex your low back muscles to help you stand up or squat up a little bit more upright. Stick your arms out in front of you to counterbalance and keep it going. If these all look the same to you, don't worry about it. Just do your best. And if you've done a bunch of these and you're like, wow, my knees are starting to get a little achy, let's change it up and make them a little bit easier. Instead of getting as low as you can, try to come up a little bit and then slide on across and then sink on slowly down into a deep squat. All right. Come on back up, slide on across again, slowly come back down with control. I have absolutely no idea how many of these we've done. I think it's like 7. So we'll pretend it's 7. Come back up again, across and down and up and across and down. That's 8. To wrap these up, I got some options. You can find whatever variation we've tried that you already like and stick with that one. If you want, you can challenge yourself a little bit more. But we got a final option. We're going to do some squats. All right. We're going to try and squat up from this one bent leg, come back into standing, slowly come down on the other side, and then we're going to finish with doing 1 rep on each leg twice because we got 9 and 10. All right. When you're ready, let's go. Squatting. Whew. If your quads are tired and need a break, feel free to pause for a second. And then when you're ready, you've caught your breath, let's come on down on the other side. You ready? Let's go. Squat! That's 9. We finished 1 on each side. 10. Let's wrap it up. This is the last one. Slowly come on down. If you're squatting, if you're doing your own thing, whatever that happens to be, as long as it's reasonably challenging for you, that's all that matters. Last one. Come on down, nice and slow. Oh, with control. Leg up. Come on back up. Oh, that is 10 Cossack squats, Cossack switches, Cossack slided things. We are done with our warm-up exercises. Give your body a quick shake Loosen up those ankles, those hips, those knees. Wiggle out your body. Do some body rolls. Whew, get loose. All right. If you're joining in for the first time and just saw all those crazy dance moves, that's not what's important. What's important is we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. All right. We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency. And we do this every day to help make the suffering that we keep on putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little easier to stay consistent with. Right? If you like side splits, if you want to work on your hip mobility, you need a little bit of that, and you need some help with consistency, then this is a perfect place for you to be. We are here every single night starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. That means we started like 22, 23 minutes ago. Whatever time that was for you, the beginning of that hour, that is when we're live every single day, Monday through Sunday. So make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, set an alarm, set a calendar invite, do whatever you got to do. Make sure you're here because I'll be here and I'd be lonely without you. All right, let's continue. We're moving on into our first stretch. We're doing a hamstring stretch, and I have lost my foam flooring even though it's right in front of me because it's just been misplaced. I was filming another video earlier and I started throwing stuff all over the place so that I'd have a nice empty wall behind me, and so I looked in all the wrong places for the foam. All right. What we need to do for the hamstring stretch is grab a little bit of padding to pad the knee. If you have some gym floory type of stuff, perfect. That's awesome. Stick it down, we're ready to go. If you don't have fancy gym flooring, we got lots and lots and lots and lots of options. Whatever you got that's a little bit squishy, has a little bit of foam, a little cushioning, that is perfect. All right. If you have an old flip flop, your dog has eaten one, one's disappeared, you only got one left, perfect. Use that one for your knee. If you have old sneakers you don't care about, perfect. Stick it underneath. If you got dirty laundry that you haven't done, roll up a towel, roll up a t-shirt, stick it under your knee. If you got couch cushions, decorative pillows, any of those things with a little bit of padding, we are ready to go once you stick it under your knee. All right. What we're going to do after you've gotten your padding, and hopefully after all of that talking about different things you can use, you've gotten your padding, we're going to kneel up nice and straight and tall like so. All right. Head over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, hips over the knees, and we're going to extend one leg out in front of us, all right, while maintaining that nice, strong, straight line. The next step is we're going to fold our belly buttons. We're going to fold our whole body down towards our legs, all right? So I hope you're ready. Let's go. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck in that forward fold, your hamstrings are telling you, no way are we doing that. I want you to exhale, I want you to relax, and I just want you to chill. Inhale, exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into that stretch, chill, and let's do it again. Inhale, nice and big deep breath. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. That's 2 breaths. One more. Inhale, exhale, relax. We're going to do this 3 times every time we get into this hamstring position, all right, the stretched out position. So now that I've told you, expect 3. And if I miscount, let me know. From here, we're going to do a slightly different movement. We're going to add some movement, all right? I want you to bring your knee up into a nice kneeling position, a lunge position. And I want you to try and fold your whole entire upper body down into that thigh, all right? From here, I want you to try to put your hands down on either side of your leg and slowly straighten out that leg. Feel that really intense hamstring stretch while you're folding forward a little bit. All right, that's 1. We're going to do this 5 times in total. So let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 2. Woo. Again, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 3. 2 more. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 5. If your hamstrings are feeling it right now, good. That's the point. We are ready to fold a little bit deeper. All right. We're going to take a huge breath in on an inhale. We're going to slowly exhale all of that air, and we're going to fold our belly buttons down to our thighs at the same time. So inhale, exhale, fold. We do the inhale by itself, huge breath in, exhale and fold at the same time, folding and finding ourselves into a deeper stretch. All right. If you get really intense and you can't fold any further, feel free to stop and rest there. But if you can keep folding, see if you can fold a little bit more. All right. Let's go. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Bring that belly button down. When you can't go any further, inhale, relax.
Let your body flop over that leg. If your back is arching right now because your muscles are relaxed, perfect. If your back is arching right now and you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your neck, your upper back, your mid back because you're trying to smash your face into your knee, that's too much. Relax. Inhale, relax again. Let your body flop into that leg. Third time, inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. Let's go. Knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's one. Knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's two. At this point, you might notice that you don't need to bring your knee up as high in order to get your chest down to that knee, to that thigh. If that's the case, stop coming up as high. That's totally fine. All right. Four. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's five. And that means we're going to fold again. All right. This is the last one, I promise. At least, on this leg. Inhale, exhale, fold. Ready? Big breath in. Slowly exhale. While we're exhaling, we're trying to bring the belly button down to the ground, down to the thigh. Cool? You got it? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold, 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 fold. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Remember, yours does not have to look like mine. All right. I try to make sure my instructions are not about how deep you're folding, how whatever is supposed to whatever. We are just trying our best to fold forward, trying to relax, trying to breathe. Inhale, relax. So, yours does not have to look like mine. Just do your best. Inhale, relax. That is three. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. That's last one, right? Knee up, chest down, straighten out. That's one. Knee, chest, straighten. That's two. Knee, chest, straighten. That's three. Knee, chest, straighten. That's four. If it felt like the last couple went a little bit fast, you can take these next couple a little bit slower. And once you've done all five, we're hanging out here for 30 seconds. All right? 30, 29, 28, 27. You can absolutely just hang out here and breathe and relax. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Come on out of that stretch. Oh, bring your knee up. Push off that knee. Come back into some sort of lungy, kneely position. Just relax a little bit. And catch your breath. Whew. Pull your leg back. Come back into kneeling. Oh, flex your glutes like somebody's about to spank you. Flex your abs like somebody's about to punch you. And stand up nice and straight and tall for a second. All right. Oh. Once your muscles, your back side of your muscles, your front side of your muscles, everything has woken up a little bit after all those stretches, we're going to continue with the other leg. Extend the other leg in front and let's go again. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Whee! As soon as you get stuck, inhale, relax. Let your body flop into the ground. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's two. Third time, inhale. Exhale, relax. That is three. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's one. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's two. Keep going. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's three. Keep going. Knee, chest, straighten. That's four. Keep going. Knee, chest, straighten. That's five. We're going to fold now. Y'all ready? Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo, feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop into that leg. Again, inhale. Relax. So you can sink a little deeper. Third time, inhale. Relax. Woo. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. Let's go. Knee, chest, straighten. Take your time on that straighten. That's one. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 2 knee. Chest, straighten. That's 3. 2 more knee. Chest, straighten. That's 4. Last one knee. Chest, straighten. That's 5. We are ready to fold a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do it. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Bring the belly button down. Woo! Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Remember, our muscles are relaxed right now, all right? If you're trying to smash your face into the knee really hard, you're arching your back, you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure, that's too much. Chill, relax. Inhale. Exhale, relax. So you can sink a little deeper into that stretch through relaxation. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. Woo, that's 1. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 3. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Last one, knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. Have we folded twice already, or is this the second time? I can't remember. This is the second time, so we're just relaxing for 30 seconds? Okay, cool. That's what I thought, but I got nervous. I was like, did I actually do that? I can't remember. Anyways, we get to hang out for 30 seconds. That's it. That's all that's left. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep on relaxing. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done with that. Oh my gosh. Bring your leg in. Hang out here for a little bit. Breathe. Catch your breath. And come back into kneeling. All right. Remember, flex your butt cheeks like somebody's about to spank you. Protect your butt. Flex your abs like somebody's about to punch you. Protect your abs. Once the front and the back are all tense together, you've gotten your nice strong body wakened up. We're ready to move on into stretch number 2. All right. You can get rid of the cushioning. You don't need it anymore. Toss it off to the side. And what we're going to do next is called the butterfly stretch. The way we're going to set this up is by moving our butts, our low back, our shoulders, our head over to a wall and leaning back. Next, we're going to take our feet, we're going to bring them together, and we're going to pull them in towards our groin. All right? This is our starting position. What we're going to do here is try and make the stretch here in the inner thighs way more intense. All right? The way we do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground. I always want you to build strength, build control when you're doing these movements with me. So I want you to flex your glutes. I want you to flex your outer thighs. I want you to use your own muscles to pull your knees down a little deeper into the ground. If you're new to the show and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, don't worry about that. Just focus on 2 things. You're feeling the stretch get more intense here in the inner thighs. And maybe perhaps you've seen your knees go down towards the floor just a little bit. All right. You can start by trying to figure out if you can flap the wings of your butterfly, flap them up and down a little bit. And if you have experimented with that a little bit, maybe one of those muscles you want to just keep holding and see if you can bring your knees down a little bit further. Cool? All right. Next, we're taking our hands. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure on the inside of the knee, not on the knee, just inside a little bit. And we're going to try to push straight down into the ground. When you do this, you're going to feel some pressure in the back of your head, maybe in your shoulders from pushing into the wall. That is normal. That's okay. When you breathe for the next 30 seconds, I want you to push your legs down a little bit deeper. If you're feeling a sharp, intense shooting pain, stop. Chill. If you're just mildly uncomfortable because we're stretching, hold. Continue. All right, let's go. Big breath in. Inhale. Push, 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 push. Exhale. Woo. Inhale again. Exhale. Another inhale. Exhale. I have absolutely no idea how many seconds we've done, but let's just do 10 more. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our butterfly stretch. We're done. That felt pretty fast, probably, compared to our hamstring stretch, huh? Give your wrists a gentle shake, a little flop. Do some like waves. Give your wrists a little bit of love. They're not very into being shaken aggressively, so give it some gentle love and just don't go and start shaking them aggressively because wrists tend to be pretty fragile. All right. Next, we're gonna flap the wings of our legs. We talked about this for a second, like 45 seconds ago, but now we want you to flap very intentionally. Wake up the leg muscles, they got all stretched out, and we're gonna get ready to move on into our third stretch. It will be equally as fast. We're doing something called the standing pancake. All right, I'm gonna slide that out of the way. Ugh. I want you to stand on up, and in the standing pancake, we're gonna open up our legs a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy. We're gonna fold. We're gonna bring our belly buttons down to the ground. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, you're like, nope, I'm not folding any further. That's a perfectly fine place to pause. From here, in this rough position, yours might be a little bit higher up, somewhere in the middle, maybe even a little bit lower down. Wherever you are, our next goal is to try and bring our whole entire upper body, including our belly button, down into a more folded position. We want to bring our whole entire upper body in between our legs, all right, without rounding the back too much. Try and keep it relatively straight. Doesn't have to be perfect, but relatively straight, all right? There are a couple of tips. If this position is scaring you, is throwing you off balance, you're a little bit nervous, the first thing you can do is grab a stool to sit down with, all right? Most of us might not need them, but for some of us, it might be absolutely necessary. So grab that stool, open up your legs again, fold on forward. The less flexible you are, the higher the stool you'll probably want, because we want the upper body to fold forward like this, because the more horizontal your upper body is, the more power gravity is going to feel, or the more intense gravity is going to feel on your upper body. All right. So if you needed a stool and you sat down, we're ready to talk about the rest of the stretch. For everybody else, if you're folding forward like this, to make gravity feel more intense, extend your arms above your head so your biceps are by your ears. And next time you breathe, inhale. Exhale. Let yourself flop into a deeper stretch. All right. Let gravity pull you down. From here, we got some optional tips. If you want, you can open up your legs a little bit wider. If you want, you can kind of stick your butt back a little bit, and that will bring your chest up a little bit higher and keep your face a little further from the floor. Those are the two tips. If you're ready, let's fold our belly buttons in between our legs. Ready? Let's go. 30, 29, 28. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down if you can. Try to bring your feet together. Wiggle your toes in and toes in and heels in and toes and heels and toes and heels until you're able to walk yourself back into standing. That is our third stretch. That is our pancake. It is quite possibly the second hardest stretch in our whole entire show. And you just finished it. Congratulations. We're moving on into our fourth stretch. All right? You got the option between a pigeon and a figure four stretch. If you know the difference, you've been on a show a while, you're a regular, feel free to do whichever one you prefer. All right, Keisha, you can do the figure four if you prefer. If you have no idea what any of those are, then follow along. We're going to do, I'm pretty sure we did figure four last night, so pigeon together. Let's go. What we're going to do, I'm going to demonstrate real quick. You don't have to do this part. Just take a look. We're going to take one leg. We're going to cross it over to the other side. All right. We're going to get it nice and perpendicular. Maybe making this thing that kind of looks like the number four, figure four. All right. And we're going to bring that leg into this position in front of us so that we can fold our upper body down towards that leg. All right. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. We're trying to bring our upper body down towards that leg. You're going to feel a stretch here in the side of your glute. You're going to feel a stretch in the hamstrings. You might feel something right here where you're actually doing the folding. All right. Let's take it to the floor. The pigeon, once you take it to the floor, it looks a little bit like this. We got this leg across our body, and we are going to take this middle line down between our eyes, down our nose, down our mouth, to the belly button. We're going to fold forward and
bring our whole entire upper body down towards the ground.
That's the stretch. If you can, I want you to aim for this midpoint between the knee and the ankle. And then I want you to line it up with that middle line, and I want you to fold towards that direction as your goal. All right. If you got really long leg bones, your version might look a little bit more like this or something like that. But for most people, that midpoint will be a good place to start. All right. We have some other tips. If you want to make it harder for yourself, you can have a whole bunch of different leg variations. All right. This is the easiest version for me, where I just stick one leg out to the side. I find it a little bit harder to bend the leg, but you might have different available flexible muscles than I do, and you might find that having this leg slightly bent is a little bit easier for you. All right. If you've done some yoga in the past, you might have also seen a version of this where you extend the leg back behind you. All right. You feel a stretch right here. You kind of have your knee smashing into the ground, and it might not be very comfortable for you. All right. I want you to know that that is completely optional here in this show. One, because we're not going to be in this upright position very often, so you're not going to get that much benefit from this. But if you're really, really, really excited about having your leg going backwards, here is a tip to help you make that position a little bit easier. All right. If you elevate this front leg and you're a relatively normal human being, your hips will probably come up, right? Unless you're insanely flexible already. But if you're normal, your hips will come up. When your hips come up, your back leg is going to have way more room behind you to not have the knee smash into the ground, to not have the hips working as hard in that crazy stretched out position. All right. So the trick here is elevate your front leg. You can still get all of the stretch folding forward, and you'll be able to get into a more comfortable position for your back leg. All right. Now that you know way too much about the pigeon, let's actually do it. Leg is across the body. Other leg is behind you if you want, or off to the side, or bent, whatever. We're taking that middle point between the knee and the ankle. We're taking our middle line between our eyes down to our belly button, and we're folding downwards. But first, try to get your butt as low to the ground as possible. All right? Your hips should not come up. Next, fold. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Let all the air out of your lungs sink into the floor, melt, become a scoop of jello in the hot summer heat, and become goop on the floor. That's your goal. All right, 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep sinking a little bit deeper into the stretch. Melt into the floor. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon stretch. Whew. That's one side. We got to do the other side. All right. So bring the other leg across now. Your legs are probably not going to be perfectly even. So if you're feeling like, wait, what? One leg is so much harder than the other, that's totally fine. That's normal. All right. And once you have your leg in front of you, I've set the cameras too close today. So I'm going to rotate this way because I'll get my whole body cut off if I face you guys doing it. Leg across, folding the belly button, and that line down to that midpoint between your knee and your ankles. Keep your hips low, then fold the rest of your body down. Inhale, exhale, melt into the floor. 30, 29, 28, 27. I don't know why I exhaled so loudly and aggressively. Like, I kind of wanted to, but I kind of went way, way further beyond the sound effect I was really going for. 22, 21, 20, 19. So if that scared you, I'm sorry. 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep breathing. Melt into the floor. 12, 11, 10, 9. If you have to breathe really loudly, you got to inhale and exhale. 4, 3. If it helps you fall deeper, if it helps you relax, that's all that matters. You can make as many sound effects as you want. 1, 0. That is our pigeon stretch. All right. Come on out of it. Ugh. If your hips are tired, if you're struggling a little bit, that's okay. Take your time. Come on, crawling out of it. Crawl slowly if you need to. And let's get ready to to do our fifth and final stretch. All right. If you've been here for a while, you already know. But if you're new to the show, which you possibly are, because there's a bunch of you online, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. It's already past 45, so we're probably going to go beyond 62 of live side splits and hip mobility. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little easier to stay consistent with. So if you like the idea of working on moving a little better, working your hips a little bit so that they can do stuff like, squat on the floor, get up without using your hands, get a little bit more mobile, and stuff like that. That's hip mobility, right? Side splits is just really advanced hip mobility, and that's what we're going to do next. And also, I said this already, I guess, but consistency. We do this every single day to practice consistency because consistency is how you make progress, all right? So, follow, subscribe, do all those cool things. Let's get into our final stretch. We're doing some side splits. What I want you to do before we actually jump into these stretches is grab a little bit of hand support. The purpose of the hand support is to let you do this. Put your hands on it so that you can open up your legs and drop into something that resembles a side split. All right. So the hand support is really important because otherwise your leg muscles will be holding up your whole entire body weight and you'll get tired really fast. Cool. I have a little 9-inch folding stool. That is my hand support. If you do not have something remotely similar, feel free to find something different. I have a larger folding stool that absolutely serves the same purpose. And later, if I find that it's a little too high, I can always drop down to my elbows. All right. So if you have a kitchen chair, that will absolutely work as well. It might be a little bit higher, might be a little up here. And then when you're ready to work your way down, you can put your elbows on the kitchen chair. If you have a coffee table, if you have an ottoman, if you have something else that is somewhere in the middle of height wise, that's fine. However, I do encourage you to find something that's lightweight enough that you can kind of slide it out of the way. You can kind of move it. You can kind of get it out of the way so that when you want to get out of a tough side split position, you're like, I can't hold this anymore. And you go, huh! You can yeet it across the room and get out of your side split position as comfortably as you want. Or, I mean, comfortably as you want. All right, let's continue. Grab your hand support, whatever it ends up being. And I want you to bring it with you until your butt is up against the wall. The wall is going to be your best friend. We're going to use it for everything from now on, and you should absolutely become best friends with it. Cool? All right. From here, we're going to open up our legs. We're going to fold, and we're going to bring our belly button down towards the ground and put our hands on our hand support. All right. From here, I want you to rest your butt against the wall and let your legs open up a little bit wider. We're just looking for a decently comfortable position to do some leg external rotation. Right now, your knees and your toes are probably pointing forward, and I'm just mixing words together. Pointing forward, and what we want to do is rotate that leg so that the knee is pointing out that way and up. And your toes are pointing up. All right. The inner thigh, the inside of your thigh, is now pointing forward. Ready? Understand? We're rotating the leg backwards 90 degrees. Cool. We're going to do the other leg too. Boom! Once you have done that, we've rotated part of our thigh bone so that this lumpy part doesn't smash into our hips. And from here, I want you to gently let your butt slide down the wall. Let your hands adjust your hand support so it's right next to your hips. I want you to slowly find yourself into a deeper and deeper and deeper position. However deeper you can reach, right? Yours doesn't have to look like mine. If you're all the way up here, that's perfectly fine. All right, just wherever you find comfortable. When I say comfortable, I really mean it. We want you to find the spot that you feel like you can control, where you don't feel like you're tipping over, you don't feel like you're losing balance. Because if you're feeling afraid, if you feel like you're about to fall, your muscles are going to tense up and they're going to try and contract so hard to help stay secure, help keep you from falling. And it's going to be so intense that you're never going to relax that muscle again, and you're not going to get any deeper into your stretch. So we want you to find a comfortable-ish, relaxing-ish position. And then we're going to breathe here, all right? Inhale. Big breath in. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Slowly exhale and see if you can relax. Relax. If you sink a little deeper into that stretch, awesome. If you don't worry about it. If you worry about it, you might not stretch any further either. All right, let's go. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if you drop a little deeper. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. hold, exhale, relax. Once you've dropped down a little bit and you're like, all right, this is enough, I'm good, you got some optional wiggles that you can try. See if you can push your right heel out a little bit, push your left heel out a little bit, right heel out a little bit, left heel out a little bit, and see if you can drop a little deeper into the floor. Adjust your hand support, adjust your butt positioning, adjust your leg positioning, find something comfortable for you, and we're ready to begin. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. Toes are up, heels are down, knees are up, head is up. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. If you suddenly feel like you can go a little bit deeper, feel free to go a little bit deeper. Add a little wiggle from here to here to there to whatever. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That is our stretch. If your support is light enough, try and push it out of your way. See if you can crawl forward a little bit. Slowly bring your legs in underneath you and come out of that stretch position. Breathe. That is our first side split. All right. What we just did was put a whole bunch of tension into our legs, into our hips. Now we're going to try and undo as much tension as possible. So when you're ready, come back up into standing. We're going to shake our legs. Shakety, shake, 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 shake. I want you to look at that ankle, and I want you to gently shake a little bit. All right, a little gentle flop, a little wiggle, something like this. The goal is to see that your muscles are relaxed, that your legs flopping all over the place, that you're loose. All right. The reason why we care about this is because if your muscles were tense, you would be more like a robot and less like a floppy, overcooked noodle. All right. And what we want is overcooked noodle. You don't have to shake super aggressively. You don't have to shake hard. You don't have to go to prove to yourself that your muscles are loose. All right. You just start nice and gentle. Pick up the intensity if you feel like it. If it feels like you've gone too far, feel free to come back down to some normal level of shaky, shaky, floppy, floppiness. All right. Take a couple of steps. If your legs are moving a little bit smoother, they're feeling okay, we're ready to move on into our hips. All right. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg. Then on the other leg, I want you to put the big toe down on the ground. And I want you to open up that leg so this knee is pointing directly to your left or right. All right. Then we're going to bring that knee in. We're rotating that whole entire leg bone in that hip socket to bring your knees together. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to flex our glute muscles to help open up our legs until it's pointed as far wide open as possible. All right? We're going to do that a couple of times. Out, in, out, in, out. And once you've built up a little bit of control over time, you can go a little bit faster. You can turn into a dance move. You can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're ready to do the other side. All your weight is on one leg. Big toe is down on that other leg. We're bringing the knee in and out and in and out and in and out. And if you're a regular, you've been doing this for a while, you can go a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. Shake out your legs. One last time. We're going to jump right back into side split number 2 in like 5 more seconds of flopping and shaking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Take your hand support. Take it with you to the wall, butt up against the wall. Open up the leg decently wide, nothing crazy. Fold on down. Whee! Put your hands on your hand support. Open up your legs just a little bit wider. Now that your butt is being supported by the wall, your hands are on the hand support. You should be in a nice, comfortable position. From here, we're going to rotate the legs. All right. The heels are down. The toes are pointing up. And the knees are pointing up. We gotta do it on both sides. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Let your butt slide down the wall. Let your legs open up a little bit wider. Adjust your hand support so that it's underneath you and really close to your legs. And sit on down. All right. Oh, find a nice comfortable-ish spot where you're not losing balance, where you feel like you're mostly in control, and we're gonna breathe. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, relax. So you can sink a little deeper into the stretch. All right, let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. Hold some more. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper. If you're not sinking, that's okay. You don't have to get it all in one day. You don't have to get everything done in one day. You're learning new skills. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Let's do it again. Inhale, relax. Hold. Hold. Exhale, relax. Whew. Optional wiggles. A little to the right, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little to the left, and we're ready for side split number 2. For this one, I want you to lean forward a little bit. You might want to push your hand support forward just a little bit to help you lean forward. Right now, instead of having our knees and our toes pointing straight up into the ceiling, we kind of want them pointing forward at like a 45-degree, a diagonal, so that you feel more pressure here in the inner thigh. All right, that is the goal. You can use your hand support. You might be able to do it with your hands on the floor. That's all good. 30 seconds. Let's do it. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. If you feel like this is a little too easy, you can always bend your elbows a little bit. When you bend your elbows, your legs will take up more of the burden and it will hurt more. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, push your hand support out of the way. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Give yourself some room. Slowly come back into something. Sorry about that. Something a little bit more relaxing. Chill. Rest. Breathe. That was our second side split. All right. Just like before, we're going to come back into standing. We're going to shake out our legs and, whew, ooh, I'm feeling it today. Woo! All right, shake out your ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Relax. All right. If you want to add your arms in right now, you want to turn into a crazy jellyfish thing, right? Enjoy. Other leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Remember, the goal is relaxation. As long as you're trying your best to relax, you're flopping all over the place, your muscles are getting looser. That's really all that matters. All right. Next, we're gonna move on into our hips. All of your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. Bring the knee in and out, and 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 in and out. Woo! Other side, all your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. In and out, and 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 in and out. Woo! Do a couple more shakes. Do a couple more wiggles. Do some dancing. Have some fun. Getting low. And make sure you don't put yourself in a crazy position where you twerk your knee or anything. Torque your knee, not twerk your knee. Twerking your knee. I don't think the knee takes part in the twerk. That's like your low back, your butt. Anyways, let's get into our third and final side split because hopefully you've been shaking it out. Let's go. Hand support right in front of us, butt up against the wall, and let's open up our legs for some side splitting. Fold on down, hands on your hand support. Open up those legs a little bit, and let's rotate the legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Your butt is sliding down the wall. Your legs are going wide. Your hand support is directly in front of you, really close to your hips. You're looking for a comfortable spot to breathe. Ready? Inhale. Hold. Hold. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Hold. 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 Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. That's two. Third time. Let's do it. Inhale. Hold. Hold. Exhale. If you sink a little deeper, great. Yeah, if you don't worry about it. Optional wiggles. Little push to the right, little push to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Doesn't have to be crazy. If you don't want to do any, you don't have to do any at all. All right. Next, we're ready to get into side split number 3. All right. You got the option. You can do side split number 1, where toes are pointing up, knees are pointing up, heels are down. You can do side split number 2, where we are focusing on the inner thighs, and you can have your knees and your toes pointing up at like a 45-ish degree angle. I'm going to do a variation of side split number 2, and let's get ready to go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0. All right, come on out of that side split. Oh, push your hand support out of the way. Walk your hands forward. Slowly crawl on out of that position. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Ah, that is our third and final side split of today's workout. When you're ready, step on up. We're getting back into some shaking. Shake out that ankle. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Get loose. Relax. Start adding in a whole bunch of body parts. Oh, flop around. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 and whew, breathe. Switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Remember, if you're new to the show, we're starting with a gentle ankle flop. Go forward and back, go side to side, do some circles, wiggle it around. Try to relax. If anything feels crazy, feels a little weird, maybe you're feeling some pressure in your knee when you're doing something a little bit more aggressive, like swinging the leg from side to side, feel free to tone it back down. The only thing that's important is that your muscles are relaxed. When we shake and we flop, the goal is to see that the muscles aren't stiff, right? They're not stuck in one position. You're not going, you're going, and that's how you know the muscles aren't super, super, super tense right now. All right. And now that we're done with our third side split, if it's just a little bit tense, it's okay too. All right. Next, we're moving on to our hips. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down. We'll bring that knee in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Your arms don't have to move. The only thing that's actually moving here is this thigh bone where it connects into your hips. All right. And you're using some muscles in the front of the hip, using some glute muscles to help open and close that leg motion. And everything else, that's just for fun to make it look more like you're running or something. I don't know, whatever. Next, leg is down, big toe is down. Boom, and 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 boom. All right. Once your hips are a little looser, we're going to wrap up with our two final movements. The first one is probably the most important one. We're going to slowly work through our hips in some deep hip circles. All right. So I really want you to lean on in to that stretch. Oh, come on around. Oh, yeah. Feel the stretch here in the side of your hips. Oh, come into the front. Oh, and whew, make sure to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Whew. And come on through those hip circles. Whew. If anything feels really stuck, feels really crazy, feels like it needs some extra attention, feel free to just hang out there for a little bit and be like, "Ooh, that's crazy. I'm gonna be here for a little bit." All right. And when you've come back through the other way a couple of times, we're probably good to continue. All right. Shake out your legs and let's get into our crazy calf raises. All right. Our calf raises are a little unique. We try to get as many joints and muscles and tendons and ligaments and all sorts of things working together at the same time. And they look a little bit like this. All right, we're going to open up our legs about hips width apart. Not super wide, not super narrow, about hips width apart. All right, and we're going to pop into a bit of a squat. This squat should look a little bit like this. I want you to really lean forward, like you're about to topple over. All right, but don't actually topple over. Just feel the sensation of you about to topple over. And then I want you to push your knees forward as well. All right, so that you're feeling a stretch right here in your Achilles tendon in your calves. From here, when you're leaning forward a ton, the only thing left keeping you from topping over is your toes. So your toes should be gripping the floor real hard right now, and the arch of your foot should be helping to keep your foot stable so that you don't topple over, and that is what we want. We're going to do some calf raises from this crazy position. All right, put your hands down for some hand support if you need it. You can use one of the stools you were just using. You can put your hand on the wall. You can face the wall and use the wall directly. Whatever it is that you want, find a comfortable, stable spot, and let's do some calf raises. Lean forward, feel that stretch in your Achilles tendon, and come on back up into that calf raise. Slowly come on down. And reset. Feel that stretch in the Achilles tendon in your calves, and come on back up and down. Whew. If you lose balance, don't worry about it. We got plenty of reps. Up and down. Reset. Up and down, reset, up and down, reset, up and down, reset. When I say reset, I'm saying lean forward. Get the stretch in your Achilles tendon, all right? Get your stretch in your calves.
And once you have done enough of these, you're like, my legs are not going to move. I'm not going to be able to get back up after the next one. Feel free to stop. What we just did was a whole bunch of crazy calf raises that put a whole bunch of effort into our toes, into the arch of our foot, into the Achilles, into the calves, because we stretched them out and then we did that crazy calf raise. Our quads were burning because we're leaning forward in that half squatting position. Our low back is probably tired because we're leaning forward and using that to hold up our whole entire upper back. Our hips, our knees, our ankles, all of our little feet bones, hopefully, we're working real well together. So that is how we make sure all of our joints are working. All right, that is our show. If you somehow wrapped up all of those movements, 75, 80% of the details on that calf raise, chances are you're doing pretty good and you're ready to go back to whatever else you got to do. I'm going to take a look at the comments, but there's a mosquito that has gotten into the room. Give me a second, see if I can. Nope, it's back there behind the box somewhere. I thought I was going to go and get it before it got me, but now every time I feel like there's something on my skin, I'm going to be like, all right, well, anyways, if you've never been to the show before, that was it. We just did our workout. We finished it. It usually takes about an hour or so, plus or minus, I guess, 7 or 8 minutes today. The last couple of days. I think this might be the longest one I've had in the last couple weeks. But that's how we roll. All right. We're here every single day practicing a little bit of consistency, working on our side splits, working on our hip mobility, building a little bit of community along the way. Because consistency is how you unlock new skills. Consistency is how you improve at things. And consistency is how you build up enough progress to change in all the ways that you want to. All right. So what else do you need to know? We have two things that you need to know. One, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. is going to be Saturday morning. We have another live. All right. It's not going to be side splits. It's not going to be hip mobility. It's going to be more gentle. We're going to do some joint warm up, really go through all of the range of motion that your joints should have, at least in a healthy joint. And we're going to slowly work our way through all of the joints: fingers, wrists, elbows, shoulders, spine, neck, hips, knees, ankles, feet, and then we're going to do some back and posture stuff to help strengthen, at least give you a couple of moves to help strengthen some of the muscles along the backside of your body to help pull your shoulders back, stretch out your chest, and hopefully stand a little taller. All right. That is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and Sunday morning at 9 a.m. So feel free to come back for that if that sounds like an interesting way to start your day instead of just wrapping up your evening with some side splits. Of course, tomorrow is still a day where we have regular side splits programming. So at 9 p.m., we got more side splits. So feel free to come back for that if you liked this. All right. And is there anything else that you need to know? Most of the content I make is not about side splits, it's not about posture. Most of the content that I make is just trying to make movement, trying to make fitness a little bit more fun because I genuinely do believe that fitness culture has taken the fun out of things and it's like, you have to do this. This is the best way to build a bunch of muscle. When really the coolest thing you can do with all of your physical ability is go have fun. Your friend needs help moving, you go, oh man, I really don't want to, but I'm capable of absolutely crushing this move for you. Your kids want to play, your grandkids want to play, your nieces, your nephews are visiting, whatever is going on, all the little children in your life want you to be the best adult ever so you can play with them all day. And then their parents are just so pleased to know you because you just saved their whole entire day. That's the kind of adult I want to be. Or I don't know what your goals are, but if something along those lines, something along the idea of being able to go, I have no idea what that is, but I'm confident I can go try it, and I'm confident that I can be not bad at it. That's sort of the end goal that I want for everybody. All right. And that starts with doing a little bit of exercise, trying some new things, maybe doing a little dance, shuffling, doing movements you've never tried before, experimenting with cool stuff so that you can build some confidence, build some experience, and then you'll have mastered at least a little bit your body and you can go do lots of other crazy things. Also, consistency is kind of important. It's kind of like the main reason why the show exists. So if you do that exploring fun stuff and you do it consistently, you become a badass human, right? And that's what I want for you. That's what I want to be, and this is what I'm doing the live for. So hopefully next time you're doom scrolling, you'll have already hit follow, you've already hit subscribe, so you'll doom scroll into some of my content. You get a little reminder, you get a little bit of movement, a little bit of stuff going on. It doesn't have to be an exercise, but a little bit of movement, shaking out your spine, doing a little stuff will, if it looks like a dance, cheer you up a little bit, hopefully, get you moving a little bit so you're a little less stiff, feeling a little bit better without treating it like all workout. Cool? All right, that's enough rambling, I think. I'm gonna look at the chat. There's not that many of you left still online, so this should be fast. Keisha says, amazing stretch. Used the split machine today. Is getting so much better. Also, my front splits are improving as well. Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. I tried some front splits, I think yesterday and the night before, and now my left knee right here in the front is feeling a little achy, and I'm like, oh man, darn. Why'd I do that to myself? One of the reasons why I started doing the side splits and not the front splits like a year and a half, 2 years ago to start this channel was because I knew I would oftentimes have something go on with his left knee when I bring the leg back behind me. And I was like, all right, well, I can't do the front splits, so I'm gonna do the side splits. So it's gonna be called splits on the side. And uh, I don't know, occasionally out of the blue, I'll be like, I wonder how those are going now that I have gotten so much deeper in other stuff and I've worked on my hip mobility in all sorts of other ways. Does this get better by magic? And it did. And then I was like, ooh, it got better. And I kept going. And then my legs were like, nope, that was dumb. So my left knee is a slightly tender, a little bit. If I start shaking aggressively like this, there's a little bit of irritation. But in regular use, not stretchy use, is fine. So I don't know. We'll give it some rest. And then I'll get back to moving. And I'll try to do some more strength work on the knee. Setbacks, man. I thought I was going to do something else with my time. I'm just kidding. I don't know actually what I was going to do. Keisha says, I hope your knee gets better. We hope the hamstring stretch so long that it helps the front splits a lot. Amazing. That's good. Yeah, the front leg isn't my main problem right now. My back leg is always it's always the back leg that's the issue. Yeah. Uh, if you want to strengthen up your front split, sorry, the hamstring in the front split even faster, one of the things you can do during our 30-second at the end is contract your hamstring and try to pull your heel into the ground. That will help build some extra strength in that hamstring stretch. All right. And that might make a little bit of progress in the front split for you for that front leg. But for most people, it's usually the back leg that is the one that's causing all the problems. So you'll just have to suffer through that on your own. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? That is pretty much all of the YouTube chat. Let's take a look at TikTok. Oh, there's a lot of stuff down here. Cat G says, gracias, Ken. Hasta luego. See you later. What else we got? Che says, see you later as well. Shani73 sends an emoji of me, or I guess a sticker of me. Che sends a whole bunch of stickers. Cat G sends awesome stickers and more stickers. Oh, everybody's loving the pets. That's cute. I love it. I'm glad you like the pets. Uh, let's keep going. Che says it's a good mind workout too to pickleball monger. Pickleball monger says always doing these when I'm already in bed. I don't want to ruin your sleep schedule or anything, but sacrifice some sleep to work on our side splits together. Fred says gat. Thank you. I think that's a compliment. I'm old now. I don't know what gat means, but I feel like it's a positive. I'm gonna just pretend that it's a positive. Nobody correct me if I'm wrong. All right, just I'll try not to mention it again. If I'm wrong, it won't matter. Che sends out some emojis. Mike Freedom sends some fist bumps and this thing. I don't know what that's called. Raising the roof? That's not really raising the roof. Anyways, thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the good vibes. Thank you everybody who continues to support each other in the chat. Because, this is a hard show to get into. There's a lot going on. Somebody wrote, "Ya mammy, my core. Oh my God, I needed a break." And it's not easy. So having good vibes sent throughout the chat, having good people, friendly people, offering support, offering enthusiasm helps a lot. And I appreciate you guys for doing it. Cool. Ya mammy says, "Thanks. I grabbed a chair. I hopefully my balance will improve with his life." Yes, it happens over time as you challenge your muscles and you force them to keep on trying over and over and over again to do very similar things, you'll definitely get much better at balance. But take your time. A lot of the hip cars are going to be challenging because it's like our first warm-up exercise. And because it's the first warm-up exercise, sometimes it's not that you're bad at balance, it's just that, you're like struggling to lift your leg up as high as possible. You're like not really, your muscles haven't woken up yet, so that you can't like rotate as well just yet. And you're just like struggling a little bit. And then because you're like focusing on this thing, then your hips move around and now you're going to be off balance, right? So, um, for the first couple of reps, always have a wall for a really 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 long time. Just plan to just be able to tap the wall, make sure you have a little bit of support whenever you need it, and that will be a really good way to feel really strong and secure when you need to. All right, because if you start feeling like you're really tired, you're toppling over, you can't hold it, it's going to be much less exciting to keep on doing the exercises. You're going to be like, ugh, I hate this movement, and we don't want that, right? We want you to enjoy the struggle, enjoy the challenge, and that might mean you do 8 reps instead of 10 if you're just starting out, right? Slowly work your way up until they stop feeling so miserable, and then you can start focusing on, oh, I want to be able to lift this part of the movement as high as I can. You can start to focus on just the things that you want to focus on. You don't have to focus on getting the most out of every single part, the entire 10 reps on each leg, because we do a lot, right? If you want to focus only on lifting your knee as high as you can in the very, very, very first part of that movement, and then everything else you can be a little bit more gentle with. And then next week, you only focus on opening up that leg, contracting that glute in the back, feeling the stretch here in the front of the leg. That absolutely works, right? The goal is to help you build a little bit of strength, give you some time to focus on the muscles here in the hip that you usually don't train very much. And as long as you're making the effort, how you do it, it's not that big a deal. You don't always have to give your absolute best 100% of the time. That's how you burn out. So if you need to take some resting days where you give like 30% of your maximum, that's fine. If you need to take some days where you give 70% of your maximum, that's great. If you have a couple of days and you're like, I am going to crush it today, today is a 100% day, amazing, right? Consistency is not about giving 100% every single day. That's how you burn out. That's how you come to hate whatever it is that you have to do, right? If it's a 30% day, it's a 30% day. If it's a 70% day, it's a 70% day. If it's a 100% day, amazing, it's a 100% day. Cool? So remember, the goal is to be consistent. It is not to overdo it and burn yourself out. And is to give yourself some grace. You're working on it. You're doing good. Your mammy says, I can't even stand up. I'm still falling. Lamar, okay, let me lock in. You got this. I believe in you. All right. Let's scroll back down to the very, very, very bottom of the chat, and it looks like we're done. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in. Thank you for practicing consistency with me today. I hope you enjoyed the workout. I hope you're cool and down now because I've been talking at you for like 10 minutes, and I'm not seeing anything else coming in the chat. So let's get ready to wrap. I hope you have a wonderful Friday evening. If you're going to go out, hang out, dance, have fun, I hope your body is loosened up and ready. I feel like I just got bitten by a mosquito. I'm suddenly really itchy. And now I'm all nervous. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Tomorrow morning, we got the 9 a.m. wake up chill live posture and back and glute and shoulder stuff. Feel free to come back for that at 9 a.m. Eastern. And we got the live at 9 p.m. doing some more side splits in the evening. So I hope to see you soon. Cool. Hit follow, hit subscribe, and let's go do other things. Have fun. Enjoy.